The Same Nicole and Fifi show here on YouTube. And if you're new to our channel, we are a dynamic mother-daughter duo here on YouTube. And on our show, we talk about all things love, life, and relationships. And we're going to be switching things up. So guys, we're going to be dropping new videos for you guys every Wednesday and Sunday. Yes. So the Same Nicole and Fifi show, make sure you look out. We're going to be dropping videos each Wednesday and Sunday going forward. So make sure you continue to leave messages down in the comments just to let us know what topics you want us to discuss. But be on the lookout for new videos from us every Wednesday and Sunday. That is something we definitely want to stick to, just to give you guys more consistency. All right. So tonight, as you can see, I'm by myself. Fifi is not here with me tonight. Tonight we just wanted to switch it up. I wanted to do like a story time and just talk to you guys about my experience voting recently in this 2020 election season. All right. So boom. I went to go vote yesterday. The first day for early voting in Georgia, and y'all, it was an experience. Yeah. The reason I say that is because, y'all, we stood in line. I went with Fifi. We stood in line for early voting. Guess how many hours? Not one, not two, not three, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10, y'all. 10 damn hours we stood in line to vote in this presidential election. Ridiculous. And yesterday was the first day for early voting in Georgia. And it was just a lot. Like when we first went, we got there like around 9 a.m., 9:10 in the morning, and we thought, we would be there for max, 4 hours, but y'all, we ended up being there for 6 additional hours, y'all. And it got to the point where we were just standing in line. Everybody had on their masks, trying their best to practice social distancing. And probably after 3 or 4 hours, me and Fifi, we started to take turns standing in line. So there was like a little gazebo outside in the parking lot where we were waiting in line at. So she would sit down for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then I would get up and I would stand in line, and then she would get up and stand in line, and I would sit down for like 45 minutes to an hour. And then after that, we were just like, you know what? We have our chairs in the truck. Those chairs that you take like to the cookout, or when you go to like a little concert out on the lawn or something. Chairs. So I walked back to the car, and we couldn't park in this parking lot where the voting vicinity was because it was packed. So I went back to the car. I got the lawn chairs for us, and then I brought them back to us so that way we could sit in our chairs while we were in line. I also went and got our umbrellas. We brought our umbrellas with us because initially we thought it was going to rain, but it didn't rain. But it did as the day progressed. The sun did come out, and the temperatures did, rise, and so it got hotter. So we were using our umbrellas for shade. But basically, we just sat. That's just how we kind of got through it. We also had people who donated pizzas and bottled water. Us standing in line, we were in Cobb County, Georgia, and the voting precinct that we were at was on the news. And so basically people were, just to show that humanity does still exist, people were donating pizzas, they were donating chicken wings, they were donating water. So while we were in line, we were getting passed out water. And people were buying pizzas, and people were passing around boxes of pizzas for people that were in line hungry. We declined the pizza, but we did take a few bottles of water, and then eventually probably in our 7th or 8th hour, there was a McDonald's across the street. So I just walked across the street to McDonald's. I know how some people feel about McDonald's and their food, but y'all, we were hungry. Like, we had been there since 9 a.m. and we just eventually broke down and got something to eat like around the 6 p.m. mark. So we went, and I went. Fifi stayed in line and manned our chairs and stuff, and I walked over to the McDonald's. Now let me tell y'all about the McDonald's. Now the McDonald's, the inside dining area was closed, and they said that it was closed due to COVID-19. So I literally had to walk, like physically walk up to the drive-through speaker, order the food, and then walk up to the first window, give them my money, then walk down to the second window to collect my food. I mean, just ghetto. Not even ghetto, y'all. Just trifling. And then, y'all, how about the dude who was working the window, who gave me my food, didn't even have a mask on, y'all. The dude didn't even have a mask on. He didn't even have no gloves on. So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking to myself, okay, McDonald's, you guys close the dining room to customers. The doors are locked. No customer can come in, right? Only the drive-thru is open. But the people that y'all got working drive-thru aren't wearing a mask or wearing gloves. Make it make sense, McDonald's. Make it make sense. So I was just really irritated about that. Like, I had to walk up to the speaker, order my food, walk up to the first window, get them my money, walk up to the second window to get my food, no mask on, no nothing. And then I'm asking the girl at the first window, the one who I gave my money to, I'm like, why are y'all closed? Like, what's going on? She was like, I don't know. I think it's just due to COVID. And, they're just concerned. But I'm like, y'all ain't got no mask on or no gloves. Y'all touching nasty money all day. So what the hell going on? Don't make no sense, but whatever. So I got our food, and then I had to walk back down the hill, back down, and to get back in line to wait an additional 2 more hours to vote. And then while we were in line, it wasn't organized, 1. 2, I felt like I do kind of feel like my vote was being suppressed. I do. I felt like they were not only holding the line, but they were unorganized. They weren't communicating effectively like they should. And then the way they had the line set up, it was just really weird. It didn't make sense. I couldn't see the logic behind it. Okay. So finally, when we got about to the hour and a half mark before we finally got to vote, they passed out the the forms that you sign before you vote, like just confirming your current address, and your signature, just confirming that you haven't turned in an absentee ballot, you don't plan to do so, etc., etc. Put your driver's license information down. Okay, cool. So they finally passed those forms out to us. They didn't give us a pen. You had to have your own pen. And so then while we waiting in line and we're, simultaneously filling out those forms, I got this old cantankerous black man. He yelling at everybody, talking, move up the line, go on up there, bam, bam, you need to move up there, bam, bam. I'm like, sir, we've been here by this time. We've been here for like 8 or 9 hours now. Like, you don't need to talk like that, okay? Like, he was irritating me, y'all. Move on up there, ma'am. Go on up there, man. Do that. And it's just like, no. With that little face shield on, that ain't doing nothing. You need on a mask. But that was just irritating me. I was just irritated. That sun was beaming down on us starting around 4 to like 6:30. The sun was just beaming down on us. I got me a little tan. Nothing wrong with that. But it was hot, y'all. It was hot. And I had on some jeans, some Uggs, because I thought it was going to be cool. I should have checked the weather. And a little sweater. My hair, I had my hair all cute and pin curled. Like before I went, y'all, I had some really pretty curls in my hair and parted down the middle. And it was just giving real Farrah Fawcett tease. but between that humidity and that heat, it just hair got messed up. So I said, you know what? After waiting in line for 10 hours, I went to vote. When I came home, I just went ahead and washed my hair, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna just rock the fro for a little bit. I don't want to put no more heat on my hair. It is what it is. But yeah, y'all, that voting experience was something else. So, you know, we get down to that hour and a half mark. Got the old cantankerous poll worker yelling at us, telling us to move up in the line. We're moving as fast as we can. Mind you, y'all, we've been here since 9 a.m. So everybody is exhausted. A lot of people broke down and just left. Oh, another thing is earlier in that day, somebody was like, oh, if you're parked in the neighborhood adjacent to the voting precinct, they're towing your cars. You need to get your cars. And that caused like a lot of hysteria. That was like around maybe 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So a lot of people got out of line when that happened. And then in addition to that, a lot of people just got tired of standing in line and they left, you know. I overheard some people talking about, you know, voting. They weren't still going to vote. They were just going to vote another day, like going to another precinct. And then some people, they were just like over it.com. So it was just a lot. But just going back to the hour and a half hour mark, we're waiting in line. The sun has set. It's nighttime now. It's starting to get dark. We're waiting in line. And then we finally get ready to actually physically vote. So we go, they have like little separate booths that are blocked off. We give them our form. We provide them with our ID for identification. And then we are prepared to vote. It was probably maybe like 14 voting machines. And maybe like 2 or 3 of them were down. They weren't working. Right? So then I vote, go through that process, and then I submit my ballot, get my sticker. I took me 2 just for my trouble. I know you only supposed to take 1, but I took me 2 stickers, y'all. Judge your mama, not me. For my time of trouble, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot. But I just say all that to say that I just think it was unacceptable that it took 10 hours to vote. I mean, I've seen some of my Instagram friends. Some people have said it's taken 7 hours. I know my cousin, he said it took him like 4 or 5 hours. Another young lady, another friend of mine, she said it took her 4 hours. But I haven't heard anyone who's taken 10 hours like myself. That was the first day that I went to go vote, and it was on Columbus Day. A lot of people were off. So that could be another reason why it was so long. But then again, I also think that it was voter suppression at its finest. And one thing that I did notice, as the polls were getting ready to close, because you know they cut off the line at 7, the line miraculously started moving a lot quicker than it was during the day. They were being a little bit more proactive because they wanted to go home. And so I noticed that. So, you know, yes, it was the first day. It was a holiday. A lot of people were off. And I know Georgia had, you know, the highest amount of voter turnout for the first day of early voting in the country, from what I'm understanding. But I do still feel like voter suppression played a role in it. And unfortunately, it did wear down some people that day. But, you know, who knows? Hopefully they'll come back and they'll go ahead and vote. But I've never had a voting experience like that where I've had to literally wait and stand in line for 10 hours, y'all. I had to wait 10 hours just to do something that took no more than 10 minutes. And that's ridiculous. And it's unacceptable. And so I definitely feel like there was some shadiness going on. And it was unprofessional, to say the least. But I'm glad I got to vote. I'm glad I got to stick it out. But it was just disappointing that it took that long. And it makes me question, like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And are things, it's questioning the integrity of it and the ethics of it. I don't know. It just got me looking at things like with a side eye. You know what I'm saying? I do still think it's important to vote. especially because there are certain groups that don't want you to vote, that do want to suppress your vote. So I think that voting, it is important, just let alone just for that very reason. Just the fact that I know there are individuals and groups of people that don't want people like me to vote is more than enough to make me want to vote. Maybe that's the pettiness in me, but even just when you look at things just from a local level, you know, I do think the presidential and the Senate elections are important, but I think local elections are more important, like your sheriff, your deputies, your county DAs, you know, county judges, how taxes are done in your county, in your city council, mayor, aldermen, things of that nature. I think that's extremely important to go out and vote for those elections, even though those elections tend to have not, their voter turnout is not as high as like a presidential. Maybe that's due to like ads and marketing and things of that nature. But I do think it's important to vote. So I would encourage everyone to still go out and vote. Maybe if you can, try to go during the week when it's not a holiday. Or maybe go on the weekend or something. But yes, I experienced voter suppression. Like I said, this is the first. It's never taken me this long to go vote. And I voted in a plethora of elections, but I did feel discouraged at some points during those 10 hours. I did feel like I wanted to just give up. You know, my legs were really tired, and, you know, I've had, in the past growing up, I've had like complications with my legs and stuff. So it was definitely kind of like daunting on me physically, just based off my medical history. But, you know, I did get a chair to sit down, and, you know, some people didn't have a chair at all, and they stood or they sat on the ground. So I'm grateful that we had chairs in our car. You know what I mean? Some people didn't get a chance to get a bottle of water, but they still stood. I saw one older gentleman, he had on a full 3-piece suit and dress shoes. And I was like, push through. So I was like, well, if he can do it, you know, I can do it too. I mean, we got there at 9 a.m., y'all. Some people have been there since like 6:55 a.m., 7 a.m. Okay? So that just goes to show you how crazy it was. And everybody in line was like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I've never had an experience like this. I've never had an experience like this. I mean, this was the first time for all of us. So, yeah, y'all, that's my story time, my voting story time. Let me know down in the comment sections, have you voted yet? If so, what has been your wait time? If you haven't voted yet and you plan to do so, what is the longest you're willing to wait to vote? If you're not voting, why aren't you voting? Not judging you, that's your prerogative, but I'm just curious to hear the different reasons for why people choose not to vote. And until next time, y'all, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm Sammy Nicole from the Sammy Nicole and Fifi Show. This is my voter story time. And again, let me know what you think down in the comment section. And until next time, please, please, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe and comment on our YouTube video. We are trying to get to like 1,000 subscribers at least by the end of the year. So please help us. We are going to be more consistent with the posting. Please check back on our channel every Wednesday and Sunday. We will be dropping new videos. And yeah, y'all, so let me know. All right.